What's going on, everyone? Happy Easter Sunday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well, staying safe, healthy. If you had to take a COVID test, hopefully you have tested negative. If you did test positive, I hope you have a full and speedy recovery with no long COVID issues. It is time now for the Easter Sunday edition of the Pandemic Update for Easter Sunday, March 31st, 2024. I just talked about having to take a COVID test. I took yet another COVID test, and yet again I have come up negative. You may still hear my voice being out of whack. It is what it is. It's all nasal, whatever this is. I don't know if it's allergies, if it's not allergies. It's mainly just a nasal issue that I've been having, so bear with me. My voice may not sound its usual cheery self today, or whatever you want to call it. Alright, if you're new to my channel, this is where we do the daily pandemic update on all things COVID. Usually we do show some news, and on Sundays we dedicate our updates to wastewater. We're doing just that today, and we probably won't be showing any news, but there is some data that you need to see, and some of it's live, and yeah, it's not good right now, what's going on. There's some interesting things going on at this time, so if you want to subscribe to my channel down below, by all means do so to help keep yourself safe and informed. If you like the content you see here, give this a thumbs up. If you know anyone that needs to see this content, and that's pretty much everyone because we all need to stay safe, by all means share this with anyone you know, and leave a comment down below if you have something to say. Taking a look at air quality values. We're going to see a lot of bad air quality over the next several days. There's a boundary that's stalled from the plains onto the east. And you can see along that boundary, there are areas of moderately poor air quality. There's also some bad air quality spots out on the west coast. All right, now it's going to get a little bit interesting. EMS totals for Philadelphia. They're not bad for Saturday. It's 692. But when we do a live look-in right now at what's going on in the Philadelphia suburbs, yeah, mind you, this is Easter Sunday. Wow, this actually went up even higher. There are currently, on a Sunday, this doesn't happen very much, 22 active calls in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Seizures, stroke, fever, medical alarm, head injury, medical alarm, cardiac emergency, respiratory emergency, another respiratory emergency, another stroke, hemorrhaging, altered mental status, another stroke, vomiting, respiratory emergency, unconscious subject, cardiac emergency, another respiratory emergency, vehicle accident, sycopal episode, unknown medical emergency, general weakness. And you might say, okay, that's Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Yeah, well, here's Chester County, Pennsylvania. Much of the same. Look at this. There are a ton of calls right now. Stroke, another stroke, assault with injury, that's not good. Back pain, respiratory emergency, EMS standby, sick person, seizures, respiratory emergency again, diabetic emergency, falls, lift assist, EMS standby. I mean, it is very busy. Considering that it's Easter, this does not usually happen on a holiday. So I am extremely concerned. I mean, look at this. Once again, Montgomery County, now 22 active calls right now. When's the last time we shown that during a pandemic update? You have to go back to about Christmas time, where I had some screenshots saved, and I'm going to be saving some screenshots here when we finish this update. Alright, Walgreens this week. Walgreens is not that bad. It's actually dropped. 15.1% is national positivity. We'll get our next update either tomorrow or Tuesday. Probably will be tomorrow. Alright, let's do our wastewater bonanza. And we have to start off with BioBot, and I need to refresh this to make sure that it comes up correctly. And we'll see here on BioBot, all regions of the United States right now for COVID and wastewater are dropping. So this is a good thing, with the biggest drop now being in the Midwest region. Let's take a look at wastewater scan. Last time we looked at wastewater scan, we left you off in the Miami area in Florida. So let's continue with Florida, and we'll just make our way around the country. Let's come up to Orlando, Florida. And how about we go up to eastern Orange County? Can't say we looked at this wastewater site in quite some time. Population served is 195,299 people. COVID, it's medium, but it's trending lower at this time. RSV, taking a look at that, you can see that continues to trend lower at this time. It's not much of an issue. Influenza A, Influenza B continue to trend lower. Norovirus, it's still coming in high at this time. You can see it is dropping ever so slightly, but not really all that much. No issues with Mpox, and there have been some detections of hepatitis A at this time. Alright, continuing on, let's make our way a little bit more to the north now. I think we will do one more wastewater site in Florida. Can we do Tallahassee, Florida? We haven't checked in with there in a while. And in Tallahassee, Florida, COVID levels, they are dropping at this time, as is RSV. Influenza A, ever so slight rise. Influenza B is seeing a drop at this time. HMPV, look at that. That's seeing a rise. And norovirus, it was dropping, but ever since about mid-March, it is starting to rise once again. And we can see here no Mpox issues at this time, and there have been some detections of hepatitis A at this time. All right, making our way a bit further north, let's go up to the Atlanta metro area. How about we come down to the South River? This is like the southeast side of Atlanta. Let's see what's going on there. Medium for COVID. It's holding steady at this time. RSV, not much of an issue at this time. Influenza A, rising ever so slightly. Same with influenza B. Norovirus is level at this time. HMPV is really starting to rise now. That's not good to see. And hepatitis A, there have been some detections. No detections of Mpox at this time. Making our way a bit further to the north, let's take a look now and see what's going on in Kinston, North Carolina, where we see COVID at this time is low and dropping. No issues with RSV. Influenza A has risen once again, ever so slightly. Influenza B, no issues with that at this time. Norovirus is starting to rise once again. No Mpox issues. And there are some detections of hepatitis A. All right, looking even further north now, up in the D.C. metro area. It's a big wastewater site. 2 million population. COVID, it is lower at this time. RSV, not much of an issue. Influenza A, it's flat at this time. It is lower. Influenza B is really starting to drop. Norovirus, once again, we're seeing another wastewater site where norovirus is starting to rise. Mpox, not much of an issue at this time. And hepatitis A, yes, there are some detections of that. Continuing even further north, we have not looked at Delaware in a while, so I suspect we should check out Seaford, Delaware, and see what's going on there. COVID, it's coming up medium at this time, but look at the chart. It's relatively low. RSV, not much of an issue. Influenza A, not much of an issue. Influenza B, just an ever so slight rise at this time. And HMPV, not much of an issue. Norovirus, look at this. It is starting to rise again. No issues with Mpox. And hepatitis A, there have been some minor detections of that. Continuing even further north, let's go to Stamford, Connecticut. And let's see what's going on with that. And COVID there is coming up medium at this time, but if you look at the chart, it looks relatively low. RSV is low. Influenza A, flat to just ever so slightly rising. Influenza B is dropping at this time. HMPV is starting to see a rise again. And norovirus is dropping ever so slightly at this time. Hepatitis A, there have been some detections of that. All right, continuing even further north, and then we will start to make our way out to the west. Boston, Massachusetts at this time is still listed as high for COVID. And take a look at this. Wow, COVID is really starting to rise in Boston. That St. Patrick's Day, post-St. Patrick's Day surge, yes, that you have been seeing, it is continuing to rise for you at this time. RSV has been dropping. That's good to see. Influenza A and Influenza B, yeah, A is doing okay. Influenza B, ever so slight rise at this time. HMPV is rising. Norovirus, most recent update, shows a slight rise at this time. No detections of Mpox, and there have been some detections of hepatitis A at this time. All right, let's make our way further out to the west and see what's going on. We'll make a stop in Kentucky and see what's going on there. Probably for the West Coast, we'll probably take a look at the CDC website just to save time, or else we would be here for a 20-30-minute video if I continued with this wastewater scan. Louisville, Kentucky. Taking a look at that. Louisville, COVID is medium at this time. Not seeing a rise. RSV is holding stable at this time. Influenza A and Influenza B at this time are dropping. Mpox at this time is no issues being detected, and there have been some detections of hepatitis A. Again, I wish I could show you more of Kentucky, but wastewater scan doesn't have all the sites on there. Chicago, in order for me to show you Chicago, we do have to go over to the CDC website for that. Reminder, red, orange, that's high levels of COVID. Orange is like medium to high. Light blue is moderate. Even lighter shade of blue is starting to get low, and then you're really low when you get to this dark shade of blue. The darker the shade of blue, the lower the levels are. And let's take a look at Chicago to see what's going on there. And Lake County, Illinois, which is near Chicago, 55,000 population. COVID is dropping at this time. Cook County, we're starting to see COVID drop at this time, but we're looking for the bigger wastewater site to see what is going on there. Here it is. And this is some good news, my friends. 1.2 million population dropping at this time. So we are finally starting to see a drop in the Chicago area. Let's continue our way further out to the west. Again, not all states are on wastewater scan, and sometimes it is easier just to take a look here. As you can see here in Cole and Callaway, Missouri, levels have stabilized for COVID. I wouldn't say they're dropping as fast anymore. They're dropping a little bit, but they're not dropping as fast. Getting closer to St. Louis, like Franklin, 15,000 population, levels are dropping at this time. Oklahoma, look at this. Finally, some wastewater sites are reporting in Oklahoma. And you can see here in Oklahoma County, Oklahoma, 57,000 population, and levels are dropping at this time. Woodward, almost 12,000 population. Levels are rising for you at this time. That's not good to see. Coming down here into Texas, we see Harris County, Texas. Levels are dropping for COVID at this time. And I am seeing red in Louisiana. Ooh, this is not good. Yes, red and some rising levels. Where was that? Jefferson? Jefferson Parish, Louisiana? Near New Orleans, I guess. Yes, not good to see that you are rising at this time. And continuing on here, I see some more red, but those are dropping at this time. So yes, still some concerning levels in southern Louisiana. Let's come out to the west coast, because again, some of these states we just cannot do on wastewater scan. Taking a look now at what is going on in the state of Washington, you can see here, here's Pierce and King. This is a relatively big wastewater site, and it is starting to rise at this time. That's not good to see. Then we come over here to Thruston. Hope I'm saying that correctly. And you are dropping at this time. In Oregon, let's see what's going on. In Clatsop, Oregon, levels are dropping at this time. Then we come down to Lane, very small wastewater site, and we do see that levels are starting to rise again. Now take a look at Nevada, where we do have two red sites in western Nevada, Carson City, and let's see here, Washoe, I hope I'm saying that correctly, County, Nevada. The western portion of Nevada, it's high, but it is dropping at this time. Let's take a look at what's going on in California. Again, I think we should probably go back to wastewater scan for California just because it's much easier. Wastewater scan does update much more frequently. Let's just do a couple in California. Let's do the San Francisco area. How about southeast San Francisco? We'll see what's going on there. And at this time for COVID, levels are relatively low. RSV is low at this time, even though it's saying medium. Influenza A is low at this time. Influenza B, a little bit higher than what we're seeing with the other levels. HMPV is starting to rise at this time, and norovirus is in the medium at this time. No detections of Mpox, but there are plenty of detections ongoing of hepatitis A. Let's come down to LA, then we will finish with some final notes for today. And in the Los Angeles metro area, let's go down to central portions of Los Angeles, and we'll see what's going on here. 3.5 million population, so this is a really big wastewater site. You can see COVID is low at this time. RSV, it's saying medium, but if we look at the chart here, it really is low at this time. Same with influenza A and influenza B. HMPV, it says high, but it is dropping at this time. No detections of Mpox, and hepatitis A is in the medium at this time because there are several detections of hepatitis A. Alrighty, that does it for the Sunday edition of the Wastewater Update. If you're going to be celebrating Easter today, please do so responsibly. Keep your air purifiers on, mask appropriately. I mean, it is a good thing to do. Of course, if you are sick, stay home. I already am home. You can hear my voice. It's the best I can do with my voice today. That's why we're cutting this video a little bit short. Once again, I did test negative for COVID, but as we all know with these tests, that does not mean anything. And really, the only symptom I'm having at this time, well, two symptoms I should say, is that my head's a little bit congested, and of course, my throat. You can hear it. It's very congested, and I have been taking my cough medicine, which at the moment is working. I've been taking my allergy medicine. That is working as well. We'll have another pandemic update tomorrow, unless, of course, my voice sounds even worse. We will see you all again next time. If you like this update, give it a thumbs up. Want to see more content like this? Subscribe to my channel down below. Share this with anyone you know. And, of course, if you have a comment, leave it down below. I will see you all again next time. Until I see you again next time, happy Easter, everyone. Have a fantastic Sunday, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.